Jelawat is no more, now racing off towards the northern Pacific. You can see it in the barely northern portions of the satellite picture, but most of Japan under clear skies today. Nonetheless, we have two new active tropical systems we're continuing to watch, but good news is that both of them look like they're going to stay clear of Okinawa, which has gotten 3 consecutive back-to-back typhoons. We do not want this to happen again. This is one of the more interesting videos I have seen coming out of Okinawa here. Just this devastation of this car continuing to fly away. I keep on joking to myself thinking, who's the person who walked outside thinking, I swear I parked it here? But also plenty of other good footage. If you do go to our Typhoon storm footage, there's a lot of stuff there, including stuff from our videographer James Reynolds, who is down there across Okinawa. But now let's go back to the satellite and continue to talk about our other tropical systems here. First, starting off with our newest one, Maliksi, which I believe is the Filipino word for fast or strong. One of them two. But I'm sure somebody will definitely put in the comment section what it actually means. But regardless, this storm system does have a clear circulation around it. A lot of dry air inflow in the northwestern periphery, but very good equatorial inflow, and also some outflow along the northern periphery. You can see some of that higher cirrus clouds pushing off there towards the north. That's allowing this storm system to continue to intensify. Nonetheless, sea surface temperatures under it are very warm as well, also allowing for it. And also see some of these colder cloud tops in the upper levels. That's indicating those big bursts of convection, which is going to allow the storm system to continue to get stronger. Wind shear a little bit strong off there towards the west, 40 knots just around the northern periphery as well, 40 to 50 knots. Rain near the center of circulation was at 5 to 10 knots. That's what's indicating that stronger, lower wind shear, which is allowing that storm system to develop near the center. But right now, it's fairly broad circulation. It is expected to get some improving conditions as it starts to track off towards the north. Along the western periphery of this high pressure off here towards the east, slowly should round it while it encounters an upper level trough, the same one that's really just jumping Jelawat off there towards the north, and then possibly affecting Osagara Islands before pushing off towards northeast. Very well is going to be creating some very rough waves, but I think that this is going to take a very similar track that Ellen here did last week. Not so much affecting the mainland Japan so much, but about 3,000 people do live on these islands out here towards the south. So with that said, if any of those 3,000 people are watching this, you definitely are going to be experiencing some possible typhoon strength winds. Nothing that too much unfamiliar with this location. You definitely do get battered by quite strong storms quite frequently. And the Joint Typhoon Warning Center's update on Maliksi, expecting it on the 3rd here to become a typhoon before pushing off towards the northeast. They actually keep it a little bit farther away from Japan, pushing south of the Izu Islands, affecting the Osagara Islands as it continues to rush off there towards the east. So all in all, really once again, I do think the main impact from the storm system is going to be some rough waves near the coastline. Maybe a few outflow channels might push onshore going into the latter part of the week around Tokyo, but nothing too significant. And I'm going to show you the GFS model because they have been fairly accurate in initializing and tracking tropical systems this year, so big hats off to the GFS model workers. They do show that Maliksi continues to move off there towards the north, eventually starts to recurve by the latter part of the week, pushing off towards the northeast, really getting stretched out as the upper level winds start to take its toll on that tropical system. So just continuing to watch that. And also look at the latter part of the model run. It does expect another system to possibly form up in the same area that this one formed up, potentially. And it actually shows it a little bit stronger. So lots of convection down here. I do think that is kind of possible. We saw similar conditions with Samba when that blew up north. Another one formed up in its wake due to that leftover convection. And conditions obviously are right there since this one, Maliksi, is continuing to form up. Let's look at the South China Sea though. You're also looking at a new tropical storm, so with the death of Jelawat 2 born right in its wake, this is tropical Gaemi and is continuing to linger here just around the South China Sea. And you see here, this is actually the 72-hour outlook from the Japan Meteorological Agency. They expect it to just remain in its place. Maybe linger down there towards the south. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center actually expects to do kind of a loop, then pull back towards the west. Really, at this time, a lack of steering flow and a lack of forward movement. I do think that anybody across this area needs to watch this very closely. Now, I am slightly ruling out a possibility of a Philippine landfall. but I do not think that it is completely out of the question. And I do think that it will linger and then eventually pull back off towards the west as the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, with their outlook, and actually, I got that wrong, they actually expected to pull off towards the north and then go west, vice Japan Meteorological Agency's lingering down towards the south. So, with that said, it is completely up in the air. One agency pointing in one direction, the other pointing towards the other direction. Model outlook, really all of them differ in the same, but they do all indicate that it's going nowhere fast. As we go back to our trusty GFS model here, it just continues to linger there, right in the South China Sea. This is all the way out to Thursday, Friday, eventually drifting towards the west and making a possible landfall around Vietnam on Friday afternoon, going into the evening hours. If we compare this up with the Euro model, they expect it to also linger and then pull towards the west. So very quickly here on the model, but you can see it forms up there. And also they're looking at this area following in behind Maliksi. I do expect another one to kind of develop up there in that same region. So definitely a lot going on out here in the Western Pacific right now. We're going to continue to keep you updated on both of these tropical storms as they progress through the next several days. But as always, stay safe out there. If you have any photos or videos, please let us know here at westernpacificweather.com. And also, just to see if you are all watching, I am announced November 10th. We are doing a meet and greet in Manila, Philippines, all the way down here. And we have a lot of viewers out of the Philippine area, but also anybody is invited. We're going to be doing a meet and greet / seminar, and maybe afterwards we might go out and get a couple beers. Depends on how many people do show up, but what I can say is that myself, a few of the other authors are going to be there, so definitely if you want to come out, join in, talk about the weather or anything else you may want to, we're definitely going to be there and available. November 10th, that is a Saturday. Still not sure yet, so recommendations are always welcomed. Please, stay safe out there, though, and have a great day. Bye.